speaking of the tide turning, I want to talk about Dave Chappelle. You know the whole Dave Chappelle thing. I know that you're quite outspoken about a lot of this subject, but I want to talk about it because I think it's ridiculous. I have spoken about it a little bit, but there's been an update. For those who don't know, a lot of trans activists are basically demanding that Netflix take down The Closer, which is his most recent comedy special that just came out a couple weeks ago. And it's actually, did you watch it? Have you seen The Closer?
I watched a lot of it. I genuinely didn't think it was that funny.
Okay.
But of course, you know, I like the anti-LGBT rhetoric, so.
Well, but that's the thing, though. It's not necessarily anti, because
he actually pandered.
Well, you know, what he was really doing, though, and what they're missing is he was including them. He was actually being inclusive by making fun of all of them, right? That's what they're all missing. He was including them. If you need some sort of safe space, that means you're actually the one segregating yourself. When, hey, everyone gets made fun of. He made fun of me. I'm a white guy. He makes fun of white people all the time. I don't care. Every time. Yeah. What you think? Am going to assume that he suddenly hates me? No. If he was in a room with me, he'd probably be cordial and nice and have a conversation. I mean, whatever. If I was lucky to talk to Dave Chappelle, it'd be fantastic.
Are you sure you don't want to go out and protest Netflix? Are you sure? Come on, Adam.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, so Dave Chappelle came out and said, well, this is from Variety, which take it as you will, because Variety is, I don't know, they're left-leaning, to just say the least, okay? But they came out there and said, Dave Chappelle willing to discuss The Closer with trans community, but says he's not bending to anyone's demands. And I love that. He's not going to bend to anyone's demands. So you said he's pandering. It's like, I don't know if he's pandering, dude, because if he was pandering, then he might actually bend to their demands, because he's not. So and you know what? Explain it. Yeah, explain how he was pandering to them.
So I watched like half of it, and maybe I should have watched all of it. When I watched half of it, if you watch all of it in context, he was like sort of giving a little praise to the LGBT community while making fun of them. Because if you, like you said earlier, if you can't get made fun of, then you actually are weird. So you should want to get made fun of, you know. But if you watch the entire thing, he was sort of like, you know, praising them a little bit, but still joking about them, like, you know, so like you said, trying to be inclusive. And even that statement he made, I'll discuss The Closer with the trans community. I feel like that's still, like, the reason why they're boycotting him is because we treat the LGBT community like babies. Like, if they cry and scream and they don't get what they want, then we just give them what they want, and we continue doing that. And that slippery slope has shown to get more and more extreme over the last like 10 years. So if I was Dave Chappelle, I'd be like, I'm not discussing anything with you. It's quite simple. I'm not discussing anything with you. I said what I said. It was hilarious.
You know what? I got to agree with you. I think that listening to the way David Chappelle spoke about it all, the fact that he's saying, I think it's more of he wants to have that conversation and have it live and basically tell them, like, I don't care. I could hear his voice. Hey, yeah, I'm here to discuss it, but I just want to let you know it doesn't matter. I don't care what you have to say. But just giving them that inch, though, is the issue. You give them an inch, they demand a mile. You give them a mile, they're like, you know what? I'll take everything. I'll take everything you got. Give me everything. I'll take the keys to your house.
They have taken it. Think about it. Look at, like Dave Chappelle said, we look at the baby. He killed somebody, Adam. I remember he's from Charlotte. I'm from like an hour away. Like, he killed somebody at Walmart. Not only did he not get canceled for that, he was praised. That's why the baby is so popular now, the rapper. And as soon as he say one thing, and he didn't even direct anything to the LGBT community. He really didn't. What he said was just something that is something we like from the black community. Everybody says, and then everybody got offended and say he's homophobic, blah blah blah. He got canceled over that, but not killing somebody. I'm like, this is a very weird situation we're in. I don't know. This is crazy to me.
Yeah, it is a weird situation. I mean, they're taking offense, and that is in itself the problem. Stop taking offense. Stop giving a shit what other people think. I'm sorry, I don't. I try not to swear on my show, and I don't. Some people might think that's not even a swear, but it's frustrating, and how much power these people give what they deem hate speech, right? Or what they deem things that offends them. That is just how dare you damaged my soul because you misgendered me. It's like, oh my, get over yourself. You're nobody. I'm nobody. Nobody is anyone. We're all specks of dust worth absolutely nothing. And if you are spending your energy being upset because someone said something that you don't like, I mean, that says a lot about you. And you need to focus more on you than you do on other people. And they just don't want to do that. They want everyone. They want to blame everyone else.
Like you said, we need to stop caring about what people think about us. And that's not only with LGBT, of course, that's the most extreme version of it, but just simply with regular liberals. I feel like conservatives put too much stock in what liberals say about them. Oh, the liberal news said this. We don't want to be called these names by the left, so we need to not do certain things. The left doesn't do that. You know, I said this, and people got mad at me. I said, as a conservative, and I was speaking generally about conservatives and right-leaning people now, period, we claim to be the alphas and all the lefties to be the beta males or blah, blah, blah. But who's the people that's not afraid to say what they think? Who are the people that's not afraid to go out there, boycott your business, and go home and not even care and wake up and do it again every day? Who are the people that will literally stop supporting a company, stop supporting an app, stop supporting everything? They will take their money and keep it without budging so that place can lose money. The conservatives don't do that. Conservatives still got Netflix. They still watch Netflix, and they make up excuses for it. You know what I'm saying? We can't be the real alphas because we scared. People scared to wear MAGA hats. Nobody is scared to wear Black Lives Matter shirts, Black Lives Matter gear. White liberals do it every day. We have to stop caring because as long as they're winning that front, that's why a small percentage of the country seems to be the loudest because we are the most quiet. And if we're not quiet, we're towing the line and making sure we don't get called them scary names. Don't call me racist. Don't call me homophobic. Don't call me all the other things they make up.
Yep, you got a point. I mean, what would an alpha do? An alpha would not give two craps about what anyone else thinks. I mean, and on that note, I mean, it makes me think of you. Like, you don't care at all. Like, you stand firm on your viewpoints and to the fact people hate you for it, you know. And I've had people on my show before that have a strong disliking of you, and I don't care because I like that. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you on all things, but that's okay. Does that mean I shouldn't have you on my show anymore? Should we not be friendly towards each other? It's like, no, it's, we can disagree on specific things. Like, that's fine. Well, on the most part,
supposed to.
What's up?
No, I was saying you're supposed. That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to disagree with somebody. Like, this is how I look at life. Like, perfect example. If you're an atheist and I know you don't believe in God, but you know I believe in God, we should have that understanding. So we should already go into this knowing there's disagreements we're gonna have. That doesn't mean we have to be best friends. Neither does that mean we have to be enemies at the end of the day, though. We should be able to have conversations. Disagreements and conversations and still say, hey, what's up the next day and not try to cancel each other over that. Even
civil discourse.
Civil discourse, man. And that's the problem I have even with the people on the right. They act just like the left. They don't want to have that civil discourse with me. They'll rather hate me, tell everybody else they hate me, and it's like, bro, that's weird.
Well, I loved watching your Twitch, I want to say battles, but they were, you would specifically find leftist Twitter or Twitch people and not just like go in their chat and bombard them, but actually invite them and have conversations with them. And man, it's so hard to watch because when you have someone who's very well informed, and you are going up against someone who is a sheep with the talking points that you very quickly debunk, it always devolves right into this like, well, and it's just like, oh, my goodness, like, and even after that, this is the sad part, nothing changed. They were just like, you know what, Bryce is just a bad guy. Like that's their take from it. They didn't go,
Yep.
Well, maybe he's right. Maybe I am just following these talking points. Maybe I am brainwashed to just believe what I'm told to believe. No, they don't go there. They go, I can't believe he triggered my entire worldview. Now I'm angry, and I'm just going to focus on the anger and be a victim. Bryson made me a victim. Boom. Now I get to be angry and stick with that.
And then they come together and get me banned on Twitch. I'm gonna be honest, I've been banned from a lot, but the one that actually like made me feel a type of way negatively, like even the YouTube ban, I literally laughed. But yeah. Twitch, because I literally enjoy going on Twitch, talking to the leftists, playing video games, talking to people. I enjoy it so much, just chill, not a lot. And they came together, got me banned on Twitch, and then they bragged about it on Twitter. Like the group of people that got me banned on Twitch, they bragged about it on Twitter. And I said, bro, I triggered y'all that much. Y'all had to go out of y'all way to just make the attempt. Like, that's crazy, bro.
Definitely, dude. They definitely did not like you. And it sucks because I watched a lot of those videos that you would make with those people, and you weren't disrespectful. You were very well, see, this is the thing, though. To me, it's not disrespectful, right? To you, it wouldn't be disrespectful. But for them, when you say anything that goes against their worldview, that's disrespectful. So like to them, they're like, wow, I can't believe how rude, and this guy's so mean. And it's like, well, he's just actually spouting. It's called logic and facts. So when you are triggered by facts and logic, it's kind of, it makes sense that they can't handle it. So
I know, like, because I'm from the South, so I'm from North Carolina, born and raised, and I grew up in the Black community. So like, a lot of people, like, you grow up north, you're gonna take the way I talk a totally different way than how I'm talking. Like, to me, this is regular. Like, you was around me and my dad. This is how me and my dad talk to each other. This is how me and my sisters talk to each other.
It's true.
It's literally just how we talk. But when I talk like certain people that don't understand that Southern stuff, they be like, he's just perfectly being rude. I'm like, no, this is literally how I talk with my parents.
I can vouch. I mean, I've been in between you guys like a referee. Jeez. Oh, man. So look at this. I have this. Actually, no, I got to reload it. This is actually when Chappelle. I got to take this away. This is when he announced that he would share audio. There we go. Okay.
And if you want me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end.
Okay. Can you hear it, by the way?
Yes, I can hear it.
I can tell you right now, none of these people that are triggered about his special have watched the whole thing. I'm telling you. I just don't believe it. I do not believe they watched the entire thing. I mean, you didn't even watch the whole thing. That by the end, you could tell that he is actually saddened. Spoiler alert, people. I'm going to spoil it a little bit. He mentioned his friend Daphne, who's a trans woman, biological male, who laughs at all of his jokes because he's funny. All right. Like it wasn't the funniest of his specials, but that wasn't the point of that special. The closer was not about it being funny. It had some moments. I did laugh a bunch, but it wasn't about that. It was about calling out the LGBT community. I mean, you say he was pandering, but he was also calling them out for not being able to take a joke, for being triggered. And guess what? That is exactly what happened, especially because they didn't watch it. Because if they did, they'd know that if they got triggered by it, you're making he's going to be right. You're proving his point by being triggered. So if you watch the whole thing, you'll know that he actually isn't against the LGBT community, transgender. He's just against white people. That's all it is. And, I mean, he made it very clear. He actually says exactly that. But let's. I want to hear his other two reasons as well.
You must come to a place of my choosing.
Understood.
And a time of my choosing.
Sure.
And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny.
And of course, he had to throw a joke in there. I don't even know who Hannah Gadsby is. I did a little research, and I guess it's a stand-up comic. I watched a couple of her jokes. My goodness, it was not good. Turns out there was like laugh tracks involved. A bunch of people were talking about it on Twitter. I don't see it. I don't see the funny. Maybe she's got some moments, but she sounded awfully woke, like woke comedy. You know, woke comedy. That's the worst because it's based on like the emotional triggers of people and also fake news. It's like watching Stephen Colbert now. You know, when you know the truth of the news, watching Stephen Colbert, you're like, oh, that's not even true. Why you're making a joke off of lies though? People are laughing in the crowd. Why are you guys laughing? That's not even true. I hate that. It's so frustrating. I'm like, oh, if you guys knew what the truth was, you would be more frustrated than laughing because he's lying to you and then reiterating that lie with jokes. And that's all basically late night comedy now.
I don't even like comedy that toes the line. Like comedy is supposed to go against the grain. It's the same way I feel about rap music. Rap music is like meant to like go against what's popular. It's meant to low-key offend you. And the simple fact that like that's what comedy is meant. Like if the comedy isn't offensive, like how is it funny? I don't understand. That's not comedy. I don't know, man.
No, you're absolutely right.
I grew up on Cat Williams and
Dude, Richard Pryor. Have these people ever listened to Richard Pryor or early Eddie Murphy when he was still doing cocaine? Or did I just how did I just listen? Oh, okay, I'm back. All right. Yeah, I remember watching Eddie Murphy's Raw when I was like 14 years old, and I had never heard a lot of the words that he chose to use. And it was so funny though, because he rips apart everyone. I mean, that, it makes me think of this meme that I saw recently. It was Rage Against the Machine in the 90s, a picture of the lead singer singing into mic. It's like, F you, I won't do what you tell me. And then it's like, that's leftists in the 90s. And then there's a picture of leftists nowadays, and it's that woman who screams no, like, no! And, she's doing her, like, in your face look, and it says, F you, you do what I tell you, or what they tell you. And that's what it is. It's like switched to, like, somehow now be Rage for the Machine. Rap, comedy, all these things. It's like we've lost our spines. What happened to our spines?
Do you remember in the 90s when they were trying to ban Eazy-E, Ice-T, 2 Live Crew? It was liberals defending freedom of speech. It was the liberals defending the freedom of speech, saying you may not like it, but they should have the right to say it anyway. And then them same people growing up to say, no, take that song off Spotify, take that song off SoundCloud. No, that video cannot be on YouTube. Like this might be the what they call it, the big switch.
I got an absolute glorious tweet. This is from Defiant L's. If you guys don't know this account, it is an amazing account. And they post just, they go back in time and find some history on some tweets. Here it is right here. This is from Gary McQuiggan, posted by Defiant L's. It's not censorship when a private company decides to remove you from its platform. You don't have an inalienable right to a Twitter account. This is from 6/20/20. Okay. And then look at this. This is it. Actually, let me just show you guys so you can see it all. Whether or not you agree with what we publish, it shouldn't be the whim of giant tech companies to delete us overnight without explanation. And this is today. That's right. This is today. Okay. You have to allow everything or nothing. That's it. Free
Period.
speech is free speech, period. It should be on the internet. It should be all speech should be allowed, period. No exceptions. I mean, Noam Chomsky, he said that in the 80s, 70s. There's this video of him being just torn apart by these, leftists at the time about how he was saying, like, freedom of speech. It doesn't matter what they say. You have to defend their right to say it, because if you start now, then where does it end? And it's like, he has a point. He had a point back then. Of course, now he's saying that the unvaccinated should be rounded up and, forced quarantine. Like, dude's gone off the deep end, but he was at least correct way back in the day when he was saying all free speech should be and remain always free.